Jason, a pretty comprehensive victory in the end, 4-1 win over Phoenix in the quarterfinals already of the Kent Senior Cup. Are you pleased with that?
Yeah, no, very. I said to the boys before the game, it was, yes, can we get a performance from the game, but more importantly, it was just about getting a result and getting ourselves into the next round of the Cup. I said within the 2 years, we've only lost one game, and that was the final last year. And I said that, I mean, I don't, as a personally, and I hope the boys didn't want to make sure we got a defeat tonight or any time along the way in the competition. So for us, we said we're in it and we want to go and win it again.
I guess the job was made all the more easier in a way, wasn't it, by the early penalty and the sending off. I mean, how much of an impact do you think that had on Phoenix?
Massive, because I mean, for them, they want to have 11 players on the pitch and test us as much as they can. I mean, even for the penalty decision, it was handball, but it didn't look as if it was a deliberate handball for him to get sent off. And even that it was so early in the game, and it worked in our favour, but it would have been better really if it was 11v11, and we can obviously get a lot more out of what we did in the end from Phoenix.
I guess we still had to show a bit of fight, didn't we, to come back after they equalised. It was a bit of a freak goal, but I guess pleasing that we did react in the right kind of way.
Yeah, but that's like I keep saying to the boys on a personal level behind the scenes, is that there's times we make things too hard on ourselves and we complicate it, and it sort of summed it up really. A game where we can sort of manage it and control it and make it easier for us by doing the right things. We go and concede the way we did, but it is about the reaction, and it's trying to learn from those things in terms of making it hard for oppositions and going through the same thing against 10 men like we did on Monday.
And I mean, we say this every single year. We speak to you in the early rounds after we get a victory, as we classically do in this competition. This is a competition we always set out to win, isn't it? And something that you target the boys to go and win. So you must be pleased to get off on the right foot.
Yeah, and more importantly for us as well, it is us getting the exposure to the boys playing against men. And I say is that, yes, we're in our development level of under 21s or 23s as it now is, but we're all playing amongst our own age group, and to be in this competition, it gives them that exposure of playing men's football, because that's the level that they are actually at. So I said to them today, it's a different test in terms of the type of team that Phoenix will be and what they'll throw at us, and it was more important that we dealt with that, and not only for themselves to say they can be physical when need be and have to change a game plan, but also to myself and the other coaching staff of how they do against men.
Looking at the bigger picture, it's been a really good week, hasn't it? 2 wins in 3 days, and for the academy in general, with the Youth Cup yesterday, the under-18s, that's 3 days, 3 wins. It's looking pretty rosy, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's what it is, and it's really, we want that to start turning into more wins for the first team, because that's the more important side of things in terms of where they are and what they're doing. But really, it's one of those ones where we are still all pros. Yes, the group that I've got at the moment are not in and around the first team, but it's just showing that it should have a knock-on effect in terms of results and trying to breed that little bit of confidence to the first team boys. And with theirs being a cup game at the weekend, it's not really so much about the performance, it's just about getting the result. So yeah, it's just pleasing that we've had a good 3 days in terms of the academy, and hope we can get a brighter result on Saturday for the first team.